I'll train a rat to spin fire. The NFT and LLSR. Diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From mint coins to tokens. He's got all the intel. Web3 is a tree to show you where to excel. He's got the
Good morning, Mega GMs, guys. Happy Monday, August 18th. Man, today's show's starting way different than I thought. Just looking forward to getting in the market and talking about some hot stuff this weekend. Backroom's cooking, some exciting stuff to look forward to this week. And then, boom, out of nowhere, we get the details of the brand new Genesis Launchpad. At least new mechanics here. And this really does change how the Genesis Launchpad ecosystem works. Like at its core, it is now a different Launchpad. And that means who it benefits, what your token allocations look like, what are the projects looking to make out of it. Everything has changed with this new Genesis update. It's a pretty spicy one, man. Pretty spicy one. I'll just say I like it a lot. We'll spend today's show doing exactly that. Look, we can touch on the market briefly if we even need to. You probably have a feel for the market. I mean, the whole market's taken a dump this morning, not for any great reason other than, the weekly close had some bearish indicators on it. And so people reacting to that. We'll see. And then the virtuals market kind of follows, although the virtuals market's been up over the past, week or two, and people chasing these small cap agent tokens, rightfully so. So all in all, market looking okay to me. And we'll put some time into that the second half of the show if there's time. I think we're going to spend most of today looking at the new Genesis Launchpad details here. I am firing off the spaces here in just a minute, so you guys come talk too. This is always a community show. And this is a big change to how the community is going to engage with virtuals. Oh my God, look at my thumbnail. Do I need to fix that? I think I need to fix that. The fuck am I doing? Okay, hang on. I'm not going to fix it yet. Dude, that's so stupid. I can't believe that. All right, I'll fix that. Here's what I'll do. If people come up during the spaces and are chatting, I'll be paying attention, but I'll probably fix that thumbnail then. That's ridiculous. Anyway, guys, smash the like on the show. Live, all the usual places. Abstract, X, YouTube, Kick. But come over to YouTube, man. Subscribe over here. We had Sage on the show on Friday. Their launch is coming up here. And they're awesome. Dude, there was a big launch that was supposed to be today, actually decently big. At least it was gonna make it. Delayed till tomorrow because of the Genesis updates. I gotta show you real quick too. Unless my browser being funny, there's nothing here right now. Everything's been wiped from the board. Jenny's. Well, let's leave it. Let's leave it like that. Jenny's. Everything's been wiped from the Genesis Launchpad right now. The only thing still up there is Sailor Flood that was already live. This is why some things were pushed back. It makes sense, right? It's why Sage was pushed. It's why they delayed our points, right? The points expirations. It's we all thought it was done with purpose. It was. So I'm sitting here at an all-time high points. Thank you, virtuals. They removed them to update the token. Yeah, exactly that. Hope you guys are stacking points because they're going to be really useful. Boy, are they going to be more valuable than ever? That I don't know. In a way, but also in a way, really no. I think this is not an update that really helps you and me. This is a great update for projects, though, and I think that's a big win. All right, we'll get into our thoughts here. Again, come subscribe over on CryptoSlam. You can follow me. Don't spoil it. Hudah, move. Okay, follow me at Hudah_idiot. And follow the Swarm_AI. Yeah. I'll tell you, the big winners are virtual stakers here and projects. Okay, that's the spoiler. All right, let me kick off the spaces. Who here, by the way, okay, in chat? Let me do my GMs real quick. Who here wants to come up and chat? Mufasa, good morning, by the way. Drop King, good morning. Gravity, GMs, man. Cats, good morning. Hood's GM, sir. All right, that's the gang here right now. I'm going to retweet the show, and I'm going to fire off the spaces here. We're going to get lurk in the spaces. Okay. Today's going to be, this is going to be a fun one. All right. It's hard juggling all of them at once, right? But let me get some tweets out here. all of you guys, okay, so I'm hosting the spaces on my account here. You're all welcome to come up and chat. Anon, good morning, man. You're all welcome to come up and chat. This is a big thing. Now, I'll go through the launch details, like the new mechanics, and then we open it up for conversations here. All right, let me get this out. By the way, fun streams this weekend. Especially Saturday was a blast. I don't know. They're always fun, but yeah, it was pretty awesome. All right, give me a quick second here, guys. How's everybody doing? What are you guys into? What agents are you looking at? I know Sploot's up. I know Backroom is... Dude, Backroom's on fire. You want me to give you guys a little alpha? Carbon, what's up? Good morning. Some of you know that we got those SlamVision Explorers, right? It's pretty cool taking that Explorer, navigating to the Backroom keys contract, and you can see some interesting stuff. Each day you see how many wallets are active, but you also see how many wallets are coming back, like continuing to buy, continuing to trade, right? And how many new wallets are coming in. So this is the Backroom keys contract, and users growing here every single day, returning wallets just going up, up, up. New wallets started stagnating yesterday. Interesting, right? And lost wallets is how many people were there that are not trading actively that day. So this kind of tells you the Backroom run price action might end because the traders that were there are starting to trade less. But it's pretty interesting. It's so new and it's so hot. We just keep an eye on this thing right now. But I'll drop a link to this. Pretty darn handy. Okay, let's get this tweet out. Did I say that right? Did I spell it right even? That'll work. That'll work. Whatevs. All right. Katz, are you going to come up here today? No worries if not. All right, let's get to it. Man, some of you guys had this this info early. There is a virtuals cabal. There's definitely a virtuals cabal. Yeah, some guys already knew what was coming. So info leaked early. I know Will knew it, right? Like Will had a pretty good idea. There was some stuff floating around. I can say that. There's definitely some details floating around behind the scenes, and what was floating around was right. And this is a much needed change, by the way. Sploot's cooking, dude. Yeah. Sploot's cooking. Bro is Cerebro, right, Markor? No. Bro isn't Cerebro, is it? Yeah, it is. Cerebro's fucking awesome. Also, they're supposed to be coming on the show. I got to lock them in, but they're awesome, man. Oh, what's up, Randy? Randy might be listening. I can't tell. He just made a comment about, I think, what I just said. That could be total coincidence here. All right, let's get into the details. Again, tweet came from Virtuals. Guys, this is breaking news. In fact, I should be doing it. Breaking news, fam. Virtuals, Genesis, the new Genesis Launchpad details have been revealed. And it's spicy. It's pretty freaking spicy. Make Virgin points great again. I'm not sure if this accomplishes that. I'll say that right off the bat. I don't think this does that. I don't think it does. 123 days ago, we launched Genesis with a simple mission. Give users early access to world-class AI projects at fair valuations. That mission hasn't changed, but the scale of our ambition has. And I almost would say the takeaway is right there. The scale has changed. Bigger. For one side of it. Yeah, Web 2 venture is still locked behind privileged. Gatekeepers decide which projects succeed, while real contributors are left outside. Genesis is our answer. And it's a great answer. I think Genesis is awesome. I think it's awesome. I think they have solved, as good as anybody else has, the insider VC fuckery. The access to the token launches that we never got into. This does solve it. And they're a step closer to having it perfect. A step closer. They're not there, right? But a launch model built for open coordination, not closed rooms. A model designed to bring the very best founders here and kill VC monopoly on elite access. To match the appetite of these builders, Genesis now levels up. The format upgrades with 3 pledge tiers, guys. 21,000, 42,000, and 100,000 virtual. Different from where we're at now, guys. Look at Sailor FUD. 21,000 is the bonding target, right? That's the target. You don't hit 21,000 virtuals committed, it doesn't complete. You get your refund, game over. Different now. Because now you can hit 21,000, but you can go to the next level, 42,000. And if you hit that, you go to the next level. You can hit 100,000 virtual, meaning when these launch, they launch at a much higher FDV, meaning the tokens that you get, well, they have the potential to be worth a fuck ton more when these actually go live. Pretty darn spicy, right? Now, allocations are being changed here too. Instead of, 37% that was available for the pre-sales, that's done. That's different now. At this point, 7% of the token supply is for the Genesis pre-sale. Way less, guys. Way less. I was going to say 30% less, but it's way more than that, right? I mean, it's a huge decrease in the amount of tokens that are at that pre-sale. Only 7% of the supply, again, compared to 37 before. Huge change there. 6% goes to liquidity. 2% goes to V virtual holders, meaning virtual token stakers. That's huge. That's huge. Think of when they do the sniper protection and virtual stakers get that little airdrop. It's always nice, right? Now every single Genesis launch, every single one, 2% of the token supply goes to virtual stakers. Huge. Huge. The winners here, guys, and you can see it, and we'll get way more in depth here. The winners here, it's virtual stakers, and it's the projects who now have the opportunity to use Genesis to launch at a much higher FDV than what they were locked in at before, guys. 21,000 virtual. They were locked in that before. They couldn't launch higher. And now that's different. 100,000 virtual floor or FDV is what they could launch at. Now, USD value, that changes. I'll do some math. We'll figure out what 100,000 virtuals would mean today. But, you could probably look at somebody like Ring Fence. They might have launched with Genesis if this were the mechanics 2 weeks ago. They might have launched. They keep way more of the supply. They have the potential to launch at a much higher FDV. This actually probably fixed the issue. That's what's up. All right. Yeah, and Anon, yes, 7% now. It's way less. Way less. I like it. This is an update for builders, which you guys have heard the team has been signaling this is for builders, right? On the Thread Guy stream, that's what they said. This is the place we want builders to come launch. We want them in our ecosystem. It's for us too, right? But you get all the big builders here. Look, we win so many ways, especially if you're a virtual staker, though. Again, they've been signaling this always, but especially the past couple of weeks, they've really been signaling it, right? Virtual's tweeting out, this is just yesterday, right? It's not an exclusive platform for AI's best projects. Virtual is the infrastructure that opens up access to them. Virtual isn't an AI launch pad. Virtual is infrastructure for monetizing AI agents. There we go. All right, let's get Cats up here. It's a spicy update, dude. It's big. This is the biggest change we've had on virtuals to date, other than the introduction of Genesis. I love it. I love it. It's great for the space here. And again, especially great for builders. And it's, again, great for you guys. Great for us. We still get access to these pre-sales. Especially if you're a virtual staker, you're going to get a lot more tokens for doing nothing. At that rate, your points don't matter. You just get a chunk of supply. This is actually the virtual token should probably be ripping here soon. Cass, what up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Hey, morning.
GMs, dude.
Finally get the update we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, it's funny because, I don't know. Either Virtuals is bad at not keeping secrets, but, we always can tell when they have an update coming, right? We just always know them. That's just because we know they're a great team and because we know they're kind of their game plan a little bit. So we knew there was something coming, and we were hoping it was a big Genesis update. But dude, it's here. Weeks we've been thinking it's coming. It's here. What do you think of it?
No, I mean, I have the same thoughts as you. I kind of expect some people, actually, I'll say the most surprising thing, because you've already I have the same feelings as you. I think it'll attract bigger projects. I think it's better for the teams to have more. We still get an opportunity to come in at a lower float, which makes the allocation we do get more valuable, all that. I think the thing I'm surprised by is they didn't change Jeet Jail at all. It still remains the exact same. I was kind of expecting there to be some changes with that, and it didn't change at all. So found that interesting.
No, that's a good point. They didn't change that. They might have changed, and I got to reread it. They might have changed refunds a little bit. You still get refunded, virtual that you may have over allocated or over committed, right? They also mentioned, though, like points refunded, which they've done in certain cases, right? There's been points refunds for certain reasons, but like just reading that in the white paper, I was like, I wonder if there's a little update there that points somehow can be. I don't know. I have to read it again. But yeah,
it does seem that way. Like depending on the tier it hits, which I don't really know how that's going to work out. But so we'll have to dig more into that. But it does say that points can be refunded, especially if it hits that top tier. But I don't really understand that because like it's going to be based on who gives the most points. Like I don't know why they would refund any points, right?
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's just there as a catch-all, I think. But yeah, the 14-day expiration window is still there. I don't love that. I think that's still a little too stiff. I think there's some wiggle room there. There's room for tweaks there. And what's great again about virtuals is they always tweak shit. They're great about tweaking stuff. They just keep doing it. And this Genesis update just shows exactly that. So I still think they need to tweak the expiration stuff. Your points expiring in actually, hang on. Was it 10? No, it was always 14 days, right? 10 days is jail. Okay, so points expiring 14 days. Jail if you sell. Here's something we have to see if they've updated too, guys. By the way, Catsy GMs, Clint GMs, JJ, good morning, man. Okay, pretty sweet if you're a virtual staker because now you're getting 2% of every Genesis launch, like every single one. But in the past, if you ever sold your airdrops, right? Virtuals airdrop you tokens. If you sold them, you didn't qualify for future airdrops, right? Now they reset that once, but are they going to loosen those rules up a bit? Because like all of a sudden you get all this stuff that you cannot sell. Now like when tokens unlock, I think you can sell them still too. But I mean, it's I don't know. I think there's some things we still need to hear more, and more than that, if those things are staying the same again, expiration and jail and selling airdrops, I think they need to still make some tweaks there. What's your favorite part of the update?
Well, I was just gonna say that airdrop part's good because 2% of now every launch is going to be airdrop. Like man, and then you can never sell it, or else you can't get any more airdrops. Like that part has to be addressed because now you're getting every launch airdropped automatically. So that'd be kind of crazy if you could never sell. So that'll need to be addressed. But yeah, honestly, man. So okay, with the points expiry thing, like. Okay, well, now with teams getting 85%, like the thought is hopefully it attracts more quality teams. That's what we've all been wanting, right? We want more quality projects coming into the ecosystem that we can get an allocation for. Now, even if it's a smaller allocation, if it's a more valuable allocation, maybe it attracts more teams. Maybe we get back to the point where we've got 3 quality projects launching on the same day again, and then we don't have the issue of points expiring, like we did early Genesis, right? Like we never worried about our points expiring because we had so many things to bid them on. I think that's the real positive in all this, if that happens. Yet to be determined.
Yep. So like, dude, if you're somebody who didn't love the points grind from like yapping or trading and staking and all that, you just like the points grind isn't for you. It's so cool now to just buy more virtual and stake it, and you're kind of covered, right? I lean that way. As much as I like keeping up with stuff, I'm not like an active trader. I've never crushed it in points, but to me, I'm like the first thing I want to go do is just buy a bunch of virtual, stake it, set it and forget it. And again, we need to find out more about the selling of airdrops, which I got a question there too. Did the penalty if you sold airdrops, was that again like based around the lock, like normal rules? Like if you sold and sell a token while it's still locked, you're penalized. But if it's in that 7-day window before the team gets to dump them themselves, like you're not penalized. Did that apply to airdrops too?
I don't think so, because again, that's why like when they have the display now, it shows you your Genesis allocation. It also shows you your airdrop. Because the thing is, if you sold the airdrop, you don't get future airdrops. It didn't have anything to do with the unlock.
Dude, that's what I thought. And that's the really strange thing here. They'll definitely have to clarify it because it's a great point. Again, they show separate from your allocation the airdropped amount. And I've always wondered that. I just assumed it was based around the actual like lock time, but like maybe not. Maybe not. It's kind of weird to separate it if it it's just lumped in with the rules of everything else. That would suck. Okay, if you're penalized ever selling the airdrops, what the fuck do you do? What's the point then?
The perfect guy to answer this is Virgin Bull, because I think this affected him, and he's a big staker. Virgin Bull, if you can't come up, hit me up in the DMs. Let us know if that's the thing, right? If you sold any of your airdrop, you don't get future airdrops. Is that correct? Hit me up.
Virgin Bull's like a big virtual staker, you said?
Yes.
Spicy. Okay, cool. Yeah, dude, I'm curious about it. I can't fathom that it's if like you sell ever, because then it's broken. Then what's the what's the point then if you can never sell? Or that's like maybe that's what forces them to go back and just tweak things and have some kind of like you sell and there's like a even like a 10-day penalty on getting airdrops. So they're gonna have to address this one way or another. But man, I love the updates. I want to ask Whitney, like, if this structure was in place 2 weeks ago, would you have launched Ring Fence on Genesis, right? I bet you would have. Like, this does change everything for a project launching. So I guess then, Cats, a lot of us were thinking prototype agent launches were going to be the new meta, right? It would just be like kind of the way projects launch here in season 3. Do you think that still stands, or do you think we're back to Genesis?
I think there will still be projects that are well-funded launching on prototype, sorry. But I think that projects that don't have funds to do what Ring Fence did will now launch on Genesis and should. For example, like Emma should absolutely, like, I don't know if you can change that. I haven't researched that yet, but like Emma should do a Genesis launch now.
Ooh, I like that.
But I don't know how that works as far as switching now.
Yeah, dude, that's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if they could. That would have probably fit well in the 69-day thing that they still haven't implemented, but right, everybody's refunded and you could probably just start over at that point. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Clint, 2% auto airdrop lock, so don't sell or lose. Yeah, maybe lose future airdrops again. That's maybe how it used to work. We'll see now. Again, that kills it. So I can't imagine it's going to work that way, or if it worked that way, that it stays that way. But we'll see. But this does make it feel like points are worth less now, if I'm understanding it all right. Right? Like if there's just fewer tokens out there, my points will just go less far. Do you think people will give up then farming points? This really does push people away from farming points.
I mean, it depends on what tier they hit, right? Like if you get a tier 3 launch and you only have such a 15% float, and then you really it's not even 15% if 2 of that was airdropped and people get penalized for selling that. So you've got such a low float that FDV is going to be really high. So every token you get is going to be potentially 5 times more valuable than the previously 5 times higher allocation. You see what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily know that points will be devalued. It depends on what tier it hits, which I think is important, right? Put your points towards valuable projects.
Dude, that you said something that got me thinking. And real quick, Gravity, Sage has gone from Genesis. Gravity, they're all wiped out. It's just so they can incorporate the new launch pad or mechanics, right? Because everything that was on the Genesis launch pad had like the previous rules baked in. So it's just to update it. It'll get relisted. I'm betting today it'll probably show back up. All right, so Cats, then with this change, this is kind of exciting. What kind of FDVs do you think we're going to see some of these projects launch with? Because we're used to seeing these projects launching, depending on like the more macro environment, but a 2 mil market cap, 3 mil, or let's go FDV, 2-3 mil FDV, 5 mil FDV, whatever. What do you think we start seeing now with these changes, especially because they can go and pre-sale happens at what, 100,000 virtual? It's going to look different. Right. It's going to look different, right?
It will look different, and it'll take some, experimentation, and really we'll see with Poke and Sage, right? Like we're going to see this pretty quickly, how this plays out and what tier they hit. We need to see a tier 3, how that, and here's the thing too, that we're not taking into account, like the sniper protection. we were supposed to have some say in that, right? But I haven't seen that play out. But are they going to give sniper protection to tier 3s? Like as a blanket thing? I don't know how that works either. Like, because then that's going to pump up the FDB even more.
Yeah, the whole sniper protection thing, the whole governance thing has been weird. Dude, weird. We've heard nothing on any of that stuff, and yet they've still been doing sniper protection. Right now it's been a little harder to tell because some of these like organically are hitting, a couple mil. So I can't quite tell if that's sniper protection on some of them or not. But yeah, that'll be interesting if there's sniper protection on top of higher, right, that higher virtual number these are bonding at. All right, so I want to do like an exercise here. Are you good at math on the fly, Cats?
I can try. I'm not sure.
Right. I just want to see what is 100,000 virtual launch look like. Like I don't even know if we can run those numbers and guess what that looks like. Again, FDV wise, virtual at today's price, which is what? I have this pulled up. Hang on, let's go to price here. I'm just trying to like ballpark anything, get a feel for what these launches will look like. Yeah, $125. And by the way, are we up since the announcement? Which is what, about an hour ago? Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
100,000 virtual is only 125,000.
Yeah, you know what? This is where I get lost with tokenomics, right? Because right now they bond or whatever, they're 21,000 virtual, right? And they're not launching it like that low of an FDV. So I'm trying to think of how we can math this out. Maybe we can't. Maybe we can't math this out.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, before it was 42,500 or whatever it was. It was somewhere around 42,000 virtual that it launched at.
Oh, dude. Okay.
It was that middle tier.
Well, that's a great point. So they've now added in a lower tier too. Right? So the threshold is lower. So maybe like, I don't want to say like a lesser quality project can complete, but whatever. A smaller project does have a chance to complete now in a way they didn't before.
Right. It could complete at half of what it used to.
Dude, that maybe changes how I think about points. If I'm feeling like points are a little less valuable, and I'm not stuck on that either, right? But if I was thinking they might be less valuable, that does change a lot. Because like a lot of these projects, when they bond and they complete and they hit secondary, they're just kind of up from, organic trading. And like you might be up a lot on some of these tiny ones. That's actually kind of interesting. Okay, so projects that only get half of the way there, where it used to be, complete now. This is like, I don't know, it's like every other time. As much as I'm thinking right now, until it's live in action, it's hard to have some like real concrete thoughts, about what it means and what direction and how people are going to play it. But can just say as of now, like, I like it. I think I like everything about this. What's the sentiment out there, by the way, like other versions?
I honestly haven't looked over the timeline yet to see. I know Goon was really excited about it and really bullish. I think, again, overall, I think it's going to be super bullish. Being able to have these tiers, being able to have different FPVs to come out with and more flexibility. It's not as rigid. I think it's going to be great for the ecosystem, especially now when you get really big launches. And I kind of like that they cap it at 100,000 too. Like, because then you might get refund on the suit. Like, because before, whatever our most hyped launches were, it was like literally no cap. So, you were getting so watered down. So now you can only get watered down to a point, with that cap on it. So I kind of like that too. So I think it's all great. I think it's going to be great for the ecosystem. I think it's going to bring in better projects. Like you said, it actually could make points more valuable now. And there's going to be more strategy going into it. People will find ways to game it, and it's an all new game right now. So I like that.
Yeah, that was a good point too about now it having a cap. Interesting. So you can only be watered down so much. Yeah, I like it. And by the way, nothing changed as far as the cap for you as a buyer. How much virtual you can commit? That stayed the same. 566 virtual is the very most you can commit. And yeah, dude, I can't wait till this is live. We should see actually tomorrow. Pox tomorrow, and that'll be that was going to complete anyways. Now we get to see live how high does it go, right? And what does it do on secondary? And I can't wait. Cheyenne, welcome. What's up, man?
GM, can you hear me?
I got you, dude. Yeah. What's good, man? How you liking this?
Mixed thoughts on it, actually. One thing is that it's all expected because virtuals is there's a lot more competition now, right? And I'm not even talking about base, but projects now they have like a choice of at least 3 launch pads to go on, right? It's not creative bid, but yeah, there are 2 or 3 who are actually coming after AI, like AI ICM as part of the ICM meta. So AI is a big thing, and those launch pads are going hard and recruiting teams, right? So virtuals have to change. And the other one is on the lowering the cap to like 21,000. My fear is that it would encourage a lot of fuckery, right? Like that all these scammy teams now it's so much easier to bond and yada yada. And it would just encourage some more of these teams to come in and extract. That's my only thought on the negative because I see it, right? I see it with we voting, the VWAP thing, and so there's definitely some weird games being played and lowering the bonding threshold. I mean, I suspect more teams will try to come in and do some weird stuff. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, I agree, and I like the points too. And do we care if there's more fuckery? If it just means people are going to burn through more points? Like, I know we don't like to encourage bad actors and just shitty products and whatever, but none of us love that. But there's the I guess the positive side of it is people are going to spend their points. And it gives us more points to spend on the good stuff, right? I kind of don't mind if people come and fuck around and launch these, these shittier ones. I don't know.
I mean, that's part of the decentralized marketplace and Launchpad, though. And like, it's on the user to do their due diligence, which I know Cheyenne does. Like, it's up to us to make sure we're spending it on good projects. So, I mean, yes, that's absolutely going to happen. You're right. But it's important to always do your research.
Let's see. Gokamoria is saying with the current system, if you sell any airdrop, you lose the next airdrops completely. It doesn't matter whether the team tokens get unlocked or not. Confirmed information from Virtual's team. Interesting. So now I'm curious if that's confirmed like today, like reconfirmed, because that matters so much, right? Like if it's you ever sell and you never get an airdrop again, then what? Like it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter how many tokens you're getting, how free they are. It doesn't matter. If you can't sell them, why are you going to spend any time, worrying about any of this stuff? Poc's back up. Actually, I think maybe all the launches are up and they added a new filter thing. But just looking, by the way, on the Genesis Launchpad, and so Poc is there, and also launching an hour, basically 24 hours from right now. Want to try? Actually, they're going to be on the Will and Goon show tomorrow. It's early, it's like I think 4 a.m. Eastern time, but that one's probably going to do well, especially with the excitement here around Genesis and virtuals again. I'll be tuning in, but heads up, they're going to be on there. I'll try to get them on this show here too. Let's see. Yeah, I think we need to get some more confirmation from virtuals though about selling the airdrops. If you sell and you're out, I don't know, dude, that'd be a big old problem. Okay, here we go. Yeah, tokenomics are updated on Poc. So weird. It's weird seeing public sale and seeing just 7% there. It's so much less. So I'm a visual person, right? So I look at that and it starts to become a little more clear, like the things we're saying, which again, you're going to spend the same number of points, right? But there's just so many fewer tokens out there. So whatever you're used to getting, like just think of when you committed points and the kind of tokens you've gotten back. Expect to get a fraction of that back. Doesn't feel awesome, but it's like Ethermage. Was it Everything Empty or Ethermage? Let me see. Who put out that awesome tweet earlier? Everything Empty.
Everything Empty.
Yeah, to their point, it was not really an update for us. They have to attract big brands, big projects, big launches. They have to. They said we're ready to compete with the best Web 2, Web 3, AI, VCs, and accelerators. The only thing we need to change is the terms, giving more back to the team so they have more skin in the game to build long-term. It makes sense. Key hypothesis is if we reduce the allocation and the float by 5x, We can attract teams with 5 times higher quality and upside. That's the thesis. Yeah, I'm with them. I think it'll work. I believe they can. And again, 2% of all this going to virtuals stakers. I love it. I'm going to scroll down here, see if anybody's asked about, selling those airdrops. Because that breaks it all. That breaks all of it. Oh, let's see. What other thoughts do you guys have? And also, what other projects are launching that you were already excited about, but maybe extra excited now to see how these mechanics work? We got Flagship coming up when? Next week? Flagship next week? Sage this week. Here, let me look. I want to see if anything new popped up on the board.
I still think Flagship will be prototype, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay. Flagship maybe prototype. Okay. Yeah, I'm just seeing if they happen to sneak something new in here. I don't see anything new. Okay. So Sage, I think we're all excited for. By the way, fucking great talking to them. Like, I think they sound like killers, right? That sounds like really legit. And I wonder if that's going to be the first thing that we see push that 100,000 virtual mark. I kind of imagine that one maxes out. Yeah, where is Sage? Hang on. My filter's fucked. I don't see Sage. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see Sage yet. Remind me, Sage was what, Wednesday, or are they next week? I think Sage is Wednesday.
Yeah, they were this Wednesday.
Yeah. Weird they're not there now. Like, everything else is back up there. Let me just make sure my filters are all good here. Network all. Filters all. Man, I don't know if I love the new filters thing they got. There's virtuals. I love the virtuals, guys. I don't think I even have to say that, but the site needs some love. It's just there's so much going on here. Let's go upcoming.
It's not obvious. I actually didn't even notice the filter thing until you just said that.
Right, it looked like
everything was gone at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. Oh, now that's a good point, Anon. Maybe Sage didn't fully update their tokenomics, because you got to imagine teams have to go back and like adjust things. It's a big old change, right? What's up, Goon? Right, like teams are going to go back. Have to actually. Sage is listening. I'm actually curious if they want to come up and chat. Whitney too, and Nick. Everybody, come up. Come on, let's do this. There we go.
Get up here, boys. Let's go.
Fucking Goon. Love this guy. How you doing, man? By the way, we were about to go dive into your thread, but how you feeling about this update? Oh, hang on. We might be having a little trouble. Hey, all right, Whitney too. Let's do this. All right, Goon, you're up, dude.
Yo, yeah. They pulled both the Poc and the Sage cards to update the tokenomics, so Poc's back up now.
They have the best name.
Yeah, it's crazy to see a pie chart with so many different pieces of the pie now. So there's a lot more going to the team, which is, I like these new updates. Like, we need to incentivize bigger projects to come along, and previously they didn't get enough of the piece of the pie, I believe. Most of the upside was to us, and the teams got to get little of that upside. So I think they'll need to, I like it, and they need to, get more teams along. And all these teams, they have more tokens to incentivize us in other ways rather than just us buying and cheating. So yeah, I'm a fan of this new thing.
Dude, hell yeah. Do you think they need to first clarify virtual stakers who before, if you got an airdrop and you sold, you didn't qualify for future airdrops? Do you have they clarified that already and I missed it?
They need to do that, but they also need to clarify about, is jail still a thing? What happens to staking of agents? Because a lot of us have already unstaked all our agents. How are they going to keep that in line with people selling and cheating? I'm expecting there to be less cheating because virgins have less of the supply. But yeah, they need to clarify. As usual, the announcement update was very vague on everything else. It sort of just narrowed in on one specific aspect of Genesis and sort of forgot about everything else. So we don't really know if all the other things have stayed the same or they're going to change them as well. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, great point. We've got also Whitney up here. We got Sage up here. Welcome, gang.
GM. So we obviously have a bunch of like updating to do on our side, but just wanted to hop on real quick, let the community know that as we tweeted, the project's only down just because we were working with the virtuals team, and we have to basically do like a new updated listing to work with like the new Genesis Launchpad infrastructure. We're super excited about it. We think overall, I think the point of it was probably just to like attract really strong builders to the ecosystem. And I think like you've seen recently, like a few other competitors coming in there and starting to take market share a little bit from virtuals. But I think virtuals is like one of those interesting ecosystems. And like we had a lot of optionality where we could launch because we were funded, et cetera. But it's one of those interesting ecosystems where it's like, it's not so PvP for founders. Like from our point of view, like we're already recruiting other really high quality builders to the ecosystem. They could either work in our cluster or other clusters, because it's one of those things that's like, when you launch a meme coin on like pump.fun, like you really don't want another big one to come around. But in the virtuals ecosystem, like you want other strong builders building other strong agents, other strong just, applications in the ecosystem to attract more people, to make ACP stronger, to make kind of interconnectivity, what we could offer and what we could kind of like highlight and use for other kind of like partner agents. And from our point of view, like we've already had a lot of success, like starting to work with other really, really strong builders in the space that we think are going to like come over to virtuals that were very hesitant before. So I think there's just like a lot to unwrap with the new infra, but like, I think at the end of the day, like virtuals wins if they get the strongest builders. And they need to stay competitive and make sure that they're attracting the strongest builders. If the strongest builders come and we have the largest, agents in the space, everything will be very, very strong for the eco.
Dude, I love it. They really are putting together the coolest everybody wins ecosystem I've seen yet, right? And like they're doing something I've not seen anybody pull off. They really are making a thing that rewards the community, that rewards the builders. And fuck, some of us thought this was like, a fairy tale. Like just the thing we talk about, but they're actually doing it. And it might not be perfect, by the way. I don't think it's perfect, but the way they keep iterating as they go, they're gonna nail it, and they're close.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, I'm updating the listing right now. Hudah, you're the man. I've been following you for a while, so I got to drop off just to get this done. But just wanted to hop on real quick, say hello to the community, just give them like a quick verbal update in addition to our tweets. We'll have the new listing up in the next hour, but just wanted to hop on real quick and say hello.
Dude, you rock. Appreciate you a ton. We're following. Can't wait to see you hit that 100K virtual this week. I think we're gonna hit that real quick, man. GG's. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dude, Whitney, you got to come up because I had to ask you. I had to ask if these changes were there, if this update was there 2 weeks ago, would Ring Fence have launched Genesis? Really curious. Let's see if we get him up. IK, dude, I never know. Is it IK or Ike? You got to tell me. Who else we have here? Again, everyone's welcome up. Nick, come up if you want. And thank you for tagging Lurky. I don't know, scatterbrain this morning. I forgot to tag him. Which, by the way, Lurky's fucking awesome. That thing is, keep your eyes on Lurky. That thing's kind of a game changer for spaces, hosts, and content creators, whatever. Those boys are cooking. All right, I'm going to look at the Genesis Launchpad again. Cat's also welcome back. I want to see if just any other changes. Okay, along with this update, I think some of us were hoping, hopium here, that there's some surprise announcements too, and I'm expecting that still. I think there's going to be something big that comes along. If not, no biggie. There's big enough stuff. Sage is awesome. Sage is going to be big. But I'm just wondering if they've got, that other bullet to fire here. They just seem to do that a lot. And as of now, no. Goku Mori is saying for the 2% airdrop, they did not announce the details yet. So waiting on an update from them. Okay, question then for you guys. If virtuals removes the penalty for selling airdrops. Is it fucking full port? Like just blast all your ETH into virtual token and stake it and just start stacking these airdrops and selling them as you please? Hard to say that wouldn't be the game plan, right?
I think that would be. I think it would change the game, like you're saying. I think it would encourage more staking, just like we did with Vader, like where we speculated, okay, am I going to make back the cost I spent staking Vader on the airdrops? There would be more thought put into staking more virtuals in preparation for like, oh, I'm going to get it back in airdrops. Am I saying that's the right move? I don't know. But I think it would increase the gamification.
Yeah, that's a good analogy there, actually. Yeah, dude, that would be wild. Whitney, what's up, man?
How you doing, man? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Cool. I've only got a couple of minutes before a call, but yeah, I mean, we were aware of the changes. Just due to timing, it didn't make sense for us to push back that far. But that's why we went the way that we did. Yeah, our goal was to do just kind of as what we imagined, right? We draw a little bit more attention to prototypes ahead of everything that was coming for Genesis, and I think it's worked out pretty well. I think this is going to be a really nice setup for the first Genesis launches, and I'm sure they're going to do really well. I agree with the sentiment that everyone echoes here, that the teams getting more tokens is a win. And I think they're moving in the right direction with regards to the community allocation as well. If you look at a lot of the charts from Genesis, I mean, I know like the last week has been a bit of an anomaly because everything's shooting up. But what the previous charts tell you is that, generally speaking, after the initial sell-off, nobody rebuys the token. So I think we do need to find a way to incentivize people to buy tokens that they like off of market, not just make sure that everybody's able to get in at a really low market cap. While it's exciting for the people who are able to get in, long term, it's not viable for real teams, just like everybody said already.
Yep. Man, so I wonder what that incentive is, which might be more points. I'll get to that in a second. But okay, interesting. If these mechanics were there 2 weeks ago, you still would have launched prototype. So that's pretty cool. I like hearing that. And do you think this change? Like I was telling Katz, I was expecting the next like virtual season 3 to be like heavy prototype launches. I'm not so sure now. Like I think the new Genesis launches are pretty spicy for builders. So Whitney, at the very least, do you think spicy for builders here? I think it's what you were just saying, really.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we launched the fund, right? I mean, the challenge is still going to remain. You still need to have capital for these teams when they're launching. Their tokens still need to be locked, which means that they're not going to be able to liquidate anything on day one, or really at all until their unlocks happen, at which case everyone's going to be looking at them and then they have to fight the team is selling narrative. So yeah, I think it's going to end up being great for the ecosystem. You're going to get a lot of teams that are coming in that are feeling better about their initial position. And I think they're also going to have an easier time finding funding because the value prop is easier to sell to VCs who may need to write them 100 or 200K check. So I think all in all, it's a win. It's going to take people some getting used to. Certainly some people are going to feel good about it. Some people are going to feel bad about it, but it's too early to call. Frankly, we need to give it at least a month to see how it's working for teams and then have the follow-up conversations with them after they've launched to see how they're feeling. And then you can make a true assessment on it.
There we go. Yeah, I love it. It's such a big change. We got to let it marinate. I'm still expecting some like smaller updates around this too. So again, like this week, we'll get a much better idea of how this is going to work and how teams will play it and how the community is going to play it. We got to see these things go live and, Pock tomorrow, Sage. Fuck, I think Sage is Wednesday. I don't know why I'm forgetting. I think they're Wednesday. Marcor's got an interesting point here. Big whales are still going for Pock because their points are expiring. Does anything that happened here change that part of the game, like where the whales do still kind of dominate the Genesis launches? Nothing that happened here gives the small guys a chance to catch up, does it? Other than maybe go buy a bunch of virtual right now while it's cheaper and stake it. I don't think I see anything here that fixes that imbalance. If it's even an imbalance, I'm not sure it is.
Yeah, Hudah, Jim. I mean, I don't think it's imbalance here. It's just like it's normal. That's how it's meant to be. Wheels will always eat. So like this update here, it's not you can't make it like make Virgin Points great again. This update is not for we Virgin, it's not for we pre-sellers. It favors more of the team. And we agree that Virtual is like bringing like bigger projects into the ecosystem, like $1 billion project into the ecosystem. It's all good for everybody. Like seeing the slash from 35% to just 7% is kind of surprising. Yeah,
It's a big change,
it's
dude.
all good. Yeah, it's all good.
I think everyone just keeps winning, especially because truth is we're heading to like that up only season anyways, so we're all just going to win regardless, and maybe it's a little less, but like that's completely offset by if these FDVs are that 5 times higher because of this change, and they just might be. So maybe we don't even feel a whole heck of a lot of changes here. We'll see. What's then, guys, what's the one most important thing that we need the virtuals team to address? Is it the virtuals, like the airdrop selling, or is there something else that was missing from the new announcement that you just think we have to know for our game plans?
Yeah, I think it's the airdrop. I mean, that has to be addressed on if you lose all airdrops, because that means you're losing every single launch from here on out. Yeah, I mean, that has to be addressed.
If they made it just like jail and it were, you sell and it's like, 10 days, I think it's 10, I've never sold. So 10 days that you just don't get airdrops, would that be fine with you? And would that actually get you thinking of selling more?
That would make way more sense, right? Like if you just go to G-Gel and every launch during your G-Gel you don't get airdrops for, that would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it would add some really cool, like, extra game theory to the whole thing. Picasso, what's up, buddy? It's good to see you.
Hey, GM to everybody, and I just got the update like 15 minutes ago, so I'm just kind of going through it. A few great points were mentioned. This might favor more of the builders, but I mean, while we're here anyway, the tech has been, if the tech wasn't built, I don't think anybody would want to trade, invest. You get my point. I'm not trying to, give too much information here, but if this is going to favor the builders, actually, we're going to do the 69 thing, and I don't know what happened to that. FMH was talking about that like a few months ago in some podcast. So maybe this is part of some of that. We don't know. I mean, we are in like a pre-rollout to Virtual Season 3. But my own concern was the G-Jail. If they can even extend it to 21 days, I think that would be great. That's just my 2 cents.
Oh, get out of here, dude. Hang on.
I agree with me on that. And I don't think that was mentioned in any of these updates.
You want it to be longer. You want that jail to be extended to like 3 weeks. You're a maniac.
I mean, I think 3 weeks is reasonable. That kind of, because a lot more can happen in 3 weeks. I mean, you can take profit. You can do whatever. You can wait for the lock to go off and stuff like that. And if you want to cheat, you can cheat. But I think that whole cheat mechanism is why Genesis had a lot of issues post-launch. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. Well,
and,
but I want to make sure I understood right. You want the lockup, you want the penalty to be longer. If you sell, then you don't get points for 3 weeks?
I think that's reasonable, because if you're trying to make Virgin points great again, I mean, come on. If that's the slogan, if that's what they're trying to push for Season 3, because the way I look at this, Mr. Ode, is like they are doing some kind of rebranding somehow, and it's real subtle. I mean, they're dropping this on a Monday. Dude, I don't know, man. I just think they need to fine-tune this, and we won't really know much. It's too early. It's like day 0 right now, technically. The next launch, though, the next big launch, I think one starts in like an hour-ish. I forgot the name of that. I don't remember. But I think a lot of eyes are going to be on stage. And I think the Poker, I don't know their name. I might be saying this wrong. I think they moved their lunch. So I'm sitting on a good amount of points. So I don't know what I want to do. But it's my first time even almost hitting that threshold of 200K, because I had to keep using them. And I lost a lot of points the past week and a half. I was literally begging the team and tagging everybody, like, please do something. So for the fact that I even extended the launch, I'm happy. But this is just my 2 cents, and I know there's a lot of people listening on this space. Big up to everybody. Some big chads in here, some big room people. I'm not really into Backroom, but I support progress. I just believe the jail should be slightly extended, or they should revitalize that mechanism. That's just my 2 cents. And any discussion around that would be great.
Dude, you'll get everybody agreeing with you there that at least it needs to be tweaked or adjusted. And like probably more people are on favor of shorter. I don't even care. I don't care because it's
shorter,
it's made
longer,
up anyways.
I don't know. Some type of mechanism has to be revamped.
Just an update.
If we're going to get into Season 3. That's just my 2 cents.
Some kind of update, keeping it fresh, keeping you feeling like you can be active. But again, like back to like the whole purpose of this redesign, it's fucking awesome. Because guys, like if they don't incentivize builders, What are we doing here? What have we been doing the past
we're
few
here. I
weeks?
mean, if the stuff wasn't built, we won't be investing.
No
That's my
big launches means we're bored as fuck and we're sitting in spaces that nobody's joining and there's nothing to do and there's nothing to trade. So yes, take care of the builders first. Everything else follows that. It's how it's always worked. So I love everything about this update. Again, still some of those little things. Well, they're not so little, but some of these other things they need to clarify. But this is a big win for this ecosystem. You can feel it. And then again, I'm waiting for like a big old curveball or just some kind of spicy, splashy project launch they're going to announce.
Even if they took some of the Swamp DNA from you guys and started using that as the new mechanism for something, that's just still my 2 cents.
I love that shit.
I know that DNA it's very like strong, like it's checking a lot of daily activity. Let me just put that way.
I mean, dude, I think there's something too, and I really should just pitch the virtuals guys on this. There's something to still letting people sell as long as they're maintaining like healthy activity. If they're not a full-on extractor, let them sell. That's part of this game. You have to sell. If you can't sell, you're not playing this stuff. You have to take
profit. You have to do something. You can't just let your bags go to zero. I'm still firm on that.
Exactly that. So then this thing that measures your reputation in a coin, you can sell. You can sell tons as long as you're still there and contributing in some form in a way that balances it out. And it doesn't have to be a perfect balance, but it's like Arbus is doing. You get a multiplier on your airdrops based on your reputation. A C reputation gets you, X multiplier, but an A+ reputation gets you a 2X multiplier. You can do that with points. You can do that with airdrops. You can also penalize guys who take their airdrops every single time and dump it. You can penalize them. You can knock those guys off, and I think that's fine. But guys who are selling something here and there, and others, they're not just holding, they're then staking, and they're also buying, and they have a great reputation. Fuck yeah, let them sell here and there. So there is a better way to do it, and I think if we all put our heads together, we can do it. I think we have all the tools here to do it. But we'll see. We'll see if that's something that happens. I kind of hope so. That was a good shout, Picasso. That was pretty sweet. What else you guys think and feeling about this update here? I'm just curious if people are I imagine we're all more excited now going in than we were just even a day ago. So fuck. Pock tomorrow. We learn how it goes starting then. Again, I'm just looking on the board. If anything else, well, again, yeah, go ahead.
See if CryptoSlam Senior can come up here and talk about his thoughts on this.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That'd be great to hear.
Yeah, dude, if you want to come up, because Katz was even mentioning it'd be interesting if you could. I don't think you can do it, but switch from prototype to Genesis. That was actually what I was just going to say. The most interesting thing in the short term is we have all these projects launching that maybe we're not all like super bullish on or super excited for whatever reason. But now that these can complete at 21,000 virtuals, like basically half of what they had to reach before, opens the door for a lot other builders, not the monster ones, not these massive ones. Smaller builders can come in and they can actually complete. So that is interesting. Yeah, CryptoSage, you don't have to come up, but like thumbs up if these mechanics were there like when you launched. Would you have done Genesis? I bet you would have. Just a guess, but just a guess.
Yeah, why not? Since it's 5% goes to like dev, marketing, and treasury, like that's a lot, man. For builders.
All right, give me a quick minute, guys. Okay, there we go. Let's see. CryptoSage, you up here? Think we got him. What's up, man? How are you? Mr. CryptoSage, you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah. Good to see you, man.
What's up? It is always nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
So,
just to comment on the Genesis thing. It's obviously nice seeing all of this, but honestly, for me, we already launched. We are here where we are, and I've got very big announcements and stuff coming. So I think we are kind of okay at the pace it's going. And I like the comment Whitney made earlier. He said that the team still needs capital after the launch. Like you still need, you can't sell your allocation in any event. So even if you get 50%, like you can't sell it. Everyone watches your wallet with a hawk eye. So No, you still need that capital. So yes, it would have been nice to get that trading fees from day one. But also, we didn't have the scale to handle that if we got that amount of users instantly. So I know that wouldn't affect, it doesn't matter with the token price, but yeah, I don't know. I think we are still satisfied or happy with where we are at the moment, and the pace that we are moving. So, yeah.
No, I love to hear that. I love just conviction in your game plan you had. In fact, that's like, to me, like giga bullish, like someone who's doing, like, when you're building and you believe in what you're doing and the way you're doing it. I love that. Respect the shit out of it. When could people expect an update from you guys?
Well, I've actually been ready with the update for like 2 weeks now, but we were hoping to get some virtual amplification. But obviously they've been busy prepping these posts and not Dr. Emma, which we understand. Obviously they have a schedule that they follow, and we need to respect it and whatnot. So I'm kind of considering just pulling the trigger. So it's a bit noisy. Yeah, I'm outside. But yeah, I'm considering just making the announcement and hoping for the best and see where it goes, because yeah, because I've had this announcement clogged up for like a week and a half now. I've been building ever since that, and I'm almost ready with my second big integration. So it's kind of clogging up right now. So I'm considering just making the post and getting it over with.
Let it rip. Let it rip. Like the market's like the community's now engaged again, right? Not that they left, but maybe some people did. But people are engaged and people are ready for some action. And especially your project's sitting at a pretty spicy FDV. I'd be curious to see what happens with an announcement. No idea what it is, but like, dude, let it rip. Also, side note, random point, Marco's got a really great fucking point here. Really great point. And this is about the governance site. There was no proposal for any of these changes, right? There's no proposal for anything here. What's the point of staking virtual if it's a governance coin? Well, by the way, Marco, I might have read part of that wrong. Like at this point, the big benefit is all these airdrops. But yeah, the proposal stuff isn't working at all. I don't think anybody's paying attention. And by the way, I'm all good with that, right? Like from the get-go, I'm like, I'd rather us not vote on anything. I'll just rather trust the team. They've got us this far. I'd rather them make all the decisions. But it is interesting that they had that big, kind of rollout of the governance stuff, and nothing's happening with it. And for an update like this, no part of it was voted on. Again, I like the updates though. So what else we got here on the new Sentient page? How do you guys see your favorite agent? What else you guys got question wise and thoughts about these updates here? And then in general, and I'm curious in chat, also on the Spaces side. By the way, if you're on Spaces, just know we're streaming the video over on YouTube on the CryptoSlam account, and also on the Swarm_AI account over on X. So you can see the video side too. But I'm curious, in Spaces, thumbs up if you like the update. Just blanket like the update, thumbs down if you don't. And then over on YouTube, just curious in the chat, same thing. If you drop your comments, just to get a little temperature check of how the community's feeling. I have a feeling everyone's going to like it. Katz, you think there's anything big we missed here, updates-wise? I'm going to once over the white paper again, see if there's just any points I just maybe skipped. But
no, we hit it. I mean, like you said, there's still some gaps, but we got all the big news of the morning.
Yeah. So okay, then I'm thinking the biggest takeaways are the new. Rewards for stakers. I also think, again, you caught me on this one, the lower threshold, that 21,000 virtual threshold. I think that's actually a big deal. So to me, that's a major takeaway. The lower supply, the lower pre-sale, tokens. Anything else major here? 21K virtual stakers, lower supply. I think that's the big stuff, right? Yeah, it looks like it. All right. Well, we might move on from the Virtuals Genesis updates. In fact, this is where okay. I normally do this like 30 to 60 minutes. We didn't hit any market stuff. We didn't do any backroom talk. So I'd say maybe fuck it. We go a little longer today and at least hit the market. And talk a little backroom. Katz, how much longer do I have you?
I'm good for as long as you need me today.
Well, let's jump right to Backroom. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, because like Backroom has all of a sudden become one of the most profitable Genesis launches we've seen yet. I think it's like ranked 4 all time. I'm on Whale Intel, and I'm just going to sort this here. All-time high.
Hey,
ROI.
sorry. Before we move on to that, since you're on Whale Intel, so the cap for the new Genesis is 100,000 virtual, right?
Yeah.
Look at the Genesis projects on Whale Intel. Sort by total virtuals before refund. Now see what projects launch like above 100,000. It's a lot.
Oh wow, that's a great point. That's a great point.
This is real spicy, because like Iris was 1.15 million virtual. Axelrod 1 million virtual.
Meaning they would have been out of the gates at crazy FTVs. They already were, but would they have been higher?
No, all that would have been refunded, right? Like they're 1 million virtual committed. The max now is 100,000, right, for top tier?
Right. Oh, you're right. So the difference refunded. You're right.
10 times the amount of the top cap. Again, you're not going to get as diluted, right? Like you're not going to get your big allocation. But it's also like, so whatever Axelrod launched at, their FTB would have been much smaller though, right? Because I mean, they use that for the liquidity for the LP.
Yeah, this is the
You
part.
see what I'm saying?
This is where I need to wrap my head around that 100 million, or excuse me, that 1 million virtual. That didn't equate at all to the FTV it launched at, did it? Or did it? This is the part I need to understand, because if now the cap is 100K, are these in theory launching at the most, at a much lower FTV than what they could have launched before? I don't think so. I think I'm thinking about it the wrong way.
Cheyenne, help us out.
I love token guys, dude. I can't do it. My brain doesn't work that way, dude. I can't do it. I could sit down long enough and do it, and thank you, ChatGPT. It helps with that too. But trying to eyeball this right now, yeah, I'm just trying to think if this means potentially they launch at these like much higher FTVs, or is it much lower? I guess I didn't know what they did with the extra virtual before.
Yeah, exactly. But my point is, like, all that. Now, of course, people got refunded virtual if they went, way over their how much they committed for their points. But now the most that we can get to is 100,000 virtual, right? And then everything's refunded. There's a ton of projects that have had more than 100,000 virtual put in. I mean, a ton.
A lot, dozens, yeah.
On this page.
Yep.
So it's interesting to look at that.
Yeah, just to know it's there, and we're going to hit that. We will. I mean, like Daredevil hit 106,000. Oh, that reminds me, there was like a smaller update in the white paper too. I don't think it matters a ton, but maybe it will. Like there were times where I would go commit a bunch of points, but only commit like one virtual. And I'm trying to remember that scenario of why I did that. I don't remember exactly why. Maybe it was to like lock in some points, and then I was planning on committing a second time and would put more virtual there. It was something like that. It will not accept those anymore. You have to have the correct amount of virtual for your point commitment. Otherwise it like rejects it, doesn't even accept your commitment there. So that was a new update that's in the white paper today. Really minor thing, but again, I know I've done that before.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can still overcommit, you just can't undercommit.
Yeah.
And you can go back, and like you could before, you can still go back and add more. You just can't put less than what the allocation used to be.
I'm trying to think of that scenario why I was doing that. And it might be just what I was saying. It was just to get the points in, and then, afterwards free up more virtual and, whatever. But I definitely did that before, and you can't now. Otherwise, it's like the commitment stuff all works the same, right? It looks like it's all the exact same. Also, yeah, go ahead.
That's a super, super important update, actually, because this totally stops those guys who are like, launch a coin, they would commit 4 million points, but put one virtual in, lure all the people who are not paying attention, right? That was the classic tactic for all these ruggy things, right?
That's a great point, dude. I didn't notice that for a while, and then Katz had pointed it out to me. It's like all these guys who would go commit a fuck ton of points, like millions of points, but they'd commit one virtual to it. They can't do that anymore. They can't do it. They can't like water you down that way, if that's even exactly how it worked. But there was guys who really gamed the system by doing that. What was their reason for doing that? Like, what was the effect of them doing that? Again, millions of points bid, but they'd only they'd only commit like one virtual to it. Why would they do that?
I would think to just skew the whole pledging system. That's my 2 cents. Because you can skew a pledging system with stuff like that. These are probably guys with multiple wallets, all kinds of things, man. I mean, anytime you can make money from something, you don't know what the next man is thinking. And that's my 2 cents. But I believe Virtuals kind of introduced this, sir, to kind of categorize the tiers as well. Because remember we used to have the tier listings. You get my point? Like, this is a S tier, this is an A tier. So a lot of projects will now get thrown around with these, new tiers that they've introduced, sir. And I'm still very excited about the Vader ACP cluster because that is supposed to assist us with autonomous pledging. So that is still the most bullish part of this news. And that's where I'm kind of thinking now. The news is still fresh. I might still need a day to super digest it.
Yep.
And, I got to do more research, but that's just my first thoughts.
I like it. I got a couple points, but Katz, yeah, let's hear.
Well, yeah. So people used to, before there was a loophole. So you could, if you had expiring points, you could pledge 1 million points to one that you knew wasn't going to launch, like it wasn't going to, succeed, and you do one virtual because the launch is not based off the points; it's based off the virtual committed. So you could, and then you get your points refunded. And so for a while, if you put that 1 million points in one virtual to a launch and it failed, you got those points refunded back. Well, the refund reset the expiry. And that's how people were gaming that system. Now they fixed that loophole a while back, but that was the original purpose of why people were doing that.
After they closed that, was there still a reason? Because I felt like people still did it, but it was just for optics or to, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, then I don't know why people would do it because you still lose those points, or you still keep the same expiry, but people still tried.
Yep. Okay, couple quick thoughts or points here. First off, where the fuck is Vader? Vader's gone. Vader's been disappeared for about maybe a week or two.
He did tweet last week. I was checking his tweets and I tweeted what he tweeted. He said, learn to be different. And that was like 5-6 days ago. So I hope the big man shows up, man. We're waiting for him.
I mean, I'll say this is why I'm bullish.
I'm still bullish.
I mean, but this is why. It's because we were expecting a big virtuals announcement. Here it is. We're still expecting something spicy from virtuals, or maybe not from them, but a big project that comes and launches and again, spicy. It gets people excited. It gets the hype here. And I'm expecting then Vader comes back with something pretty spicy. For whatever reason, it's just like maybe it's, again, hopium, but I have a feeling it plays out that way. And we just have all these things that happen all in the same kind of time frame. And I feel this season
like a waterfall effect. That's what you're saying, boss. Like a big waterfall effect.
There we go. Exactly. Yeah. And I also liked your point, dude, about categorizing. Like people do these tier lists. I like that, instead of, S tier through whatever F, now categorizing them or predicting them as this is going to hit 21, this hits 42, this hits 100, whatever those levels are. I like that idea for, how people review these projects. So that'll be fun. And then real quick for Gravity, is 100K a cap or is it the minimum for that tier? It is a cap. So like when you hit those 3 tiers, if you hit 21 and you go beyond to like, let's say 25 or 30, it's going to refund the difference of that virtual. The excess virtuals goes back to the people who committed. It will be locked in at 21. And the same with that mid tier and the same with 100. It's a cap. So then anything above it refunded back. And that's how it'll work. I like it. All right. Any other thoughts on Genesis, just in general? Otherwise, we can go touch on Backroom, which I don't have a ton of thoughts about. Just worth talking about because it is pretty spicy right now. Also, who knows what's going on with the market?
Bring Genesis back. That's all I hope this update can do, and I hope it's a successful update. Regardless of the, it's gonna have its ups and downs. The next big launch is probably gonna determine that. That's just what I think, guys. Because the update is still fresh. It has to be tested. I mean, the only way to test it is with a launch. Thank you, brother.
There we go. I'm with you. All right, then Backroom. Let me pull it up here too, because I mean, again, absolutely cooking. Just as of the past few days, really. Oh, we got Adam coming up. Hell yeah. Backroom absolutely cooking. Again, let me put on the screen, but blew up to like, I don't know, like a 12 mil FDV. I'm still holding my tokens from launch, even though I was like, I don't want to say bearish on those guys, but I just didn't like the chaos around them coming into this space. Like, it happens sometimes. I don't think it was all their fault, but it was like, I don't know. It was just some weird energy with that launch. That said, respect to guys who just stick around and they persevere and they build. And at this point, Backroom's live. I think that's the big announcement or big needle mover this week. It's live. People launching their rooms. Will's got a room. I don't know if Goon's got a room, but Will's got a room, and I think Nick might have a room. I know he's like integrated Backroom into his Discord server, which is cool as hell. ICO Beast has launched a room, and some of these are, dude. I mean, like ICO Beast keys are like $1,200, $1,100. Like, it's not cheap. Also, guys, freaking amazing. They're probably, if this thing keeps continuing like it is, probably gonna be worth a lot more. So the play right now is the room token, which is paired against these keys and stuff sending. Any of you guys paying attention to Backroom, launching room? And also, Adam, what's up, man?
Hey, can you hear me?
I got you. Brother.
Oh, great. Yeah, I'm just testing out this new mic on my computer. So I was like, oh, am I audible? But
it's crisp.
Yeah, good to see you guys. I've been listening in. I was actually on your live stream watching, and now I've just joined the room. So I am up to date on the discussion, but I'll leave you guys to. I don't particularly have any comments on Backroom at the moment, but yeah, I mean, I can see it's happening.
Dude, drop whatever you got to. Like, like if you tune in, like, there's no rules. So even if we're gonna talk Backroom, anything goes. There's no rules here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess my 2 cents on the Genesis thing. So I think it's interesting, and what I would say, I wasn't actually sure who it was that was commenting earlier. That the thing is, I think probably it may be that the important thing is more about like there being less sell pressure post-launch than it is about the teams having kind of more allocation. Just because, like, frankly, I think for teams, like it's kind of, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, I guess, but like, I think it's kind of difficult to sell your own supply, right? Like, certainly early on. And I don't really see the token as being the kind of like the financing, like it's less about like the token itself to finance operations as it is about like leveraging the trading fees. And so I think for good teams that really understand like tokens well and tokenomics, I think that they would be less incentivized by more of an allocation. However, like, the cheating and avoiding that, having less sell pressure post launch is good, right? So that's probably just how I've only just seen the announcement, like all of you guys as well, and I listened a little bit in earlier. But that's my perspective on the Genesis updates.
Dude, I love it. Yeah, I think I'm with you with all the points. I mean, again, I love the less sell pressure. I love that. Again, there's just less token out there, so there's just much less to even be sold. So that makes a ton of sense. I'm hoping we have like this like awesome sweet spot right when these TGEs happen. Don't know if they'll be there, but this awesome sweet spot where they launch and they're sitting at a decent, attractive market cap or FDV where people want to buy. And to greet them is really, again, nobody who wants to sell, which would be awesome. Setting this up for like just very, very explosive market action.
Man, that sounds so good, Hudah, because just to chip in a bit, most of these launches end up doing at least another 2x post the first 15-minute dump. Most of them. I mean, I don't know the data here, but most Genesis launch would still, maybe even a 1.5. But you're still going to have those early jitters. It's just, that's how the game is, man. That's just to bring at least something good to the ecosystem. But great point, sir. Good point.
Yeah, I mean, dude, when the market was hot, we could count on everything that completed. You would see 3x, 4x, 5x. It was almost automatic. Again, if you were in there at least early enough in like season 2, if it completed automatic, you're gonna see some pretty spicy stuff. And then that kind of did change. DJ and Ape Trader's got a cool post here, by the way, comparing Virtual's old Genesis versus new Genesis. Let's see, 3 times easier to pump. Okay, old 50% floating, new 15% floating. 5x entry cost. So 42,000 for 37.5% was the old virtual Genesis. Now it's 42,000 for 7%. So old Genesis, that's a 140K entry market cap. New Genesis, 740K entry market cap. That's one of the bigger points here is these are just going to launch in theory at a much higher market cap. They should.
And I was teasing this. I knew they were gonna drop something, bro. So I took like some old picture and like used Grok to make this like funny beta AI thing, and I just kept saying Genesis launches. And I just knew they were gonna drop something, bro. I could feel it. I didn't know what it was.
Yep.
So that was like me just anticipating that. So I'm still a bit like overwhelmed about it, I'll be honest. But let's see what Vader cooks. I mean, he is the DAO that's gonna help them push these launches out. So the next launch, I don't know. That bonds, we'll see how it goes, man. We'll just see. I'll just say let's just take it with how do you just say like a grain of salt and see how it goes. Yeah.
There you go. No, exactly, man. Now, okay, a reminder for people, if you were excited that your points were maybe lasting a little longer, you were stacking your points in a way you weren't before, well, virtuals did delay the point expiration. Last week they did it. They extended it for, I think, 7 days, maybe 10 days. But just be aware, that actually starts again tomorrow. Pretty darn sure about this. I'm pretty darn sure that starting tomorrow, your points start expiring again. So just be aware.
I think it's like a day and a half or two, but yeah, it's pretty close.
Here,
so I got to pledge something. I lost almost 20K points. I don't even know, bro. I lost a lot of points.
Yeah, hurts a bit. Hurts a bit, but it was cool they even did that. It's cool they extended it for a while. I think a lot of us here are sitting at all-time high points, right? Would I be right guessing a lot of people sitting here sitting on some nice points here? Yeah. It's going to make this week pretty spicy. Now here, okay, I got to chat with the Whale Intel guys because either I'm missing it. Cats, you know this site way better than me, I think, but I look at it every day. And the number one thing I used to look at was points in circulation. And last I saw, we were at like 6 billion points in circulation. Since the update, I can't find it anywhere. Like, so I don't know what we're at now, but we got to be I bet we're at 7 bill plus. Even with them expiring, because they stopped expiring. So I don't know, Cats, if it's in a different spot or if you have any idea about that, but itching to see what kind of points are out there. And I'm looking, by the way, when mine expired.
I haven't seen it either, honestly.
Yeah, all right. So let's see. Points expiring. Yeah, I got points starting to expire at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. So yeah, like a day and a half here, and then the expirations begin. And it just means I'm gonna have to throw something at Pock, for sure. But for me, game plan wise, probably like most of you, a big chunk of my points are saved for. Actually, this will be spicy. Big chunk of the points are definitely saved for Sage. But dude, I don't think I can go as heavy as I was going to now because I am expecting something else spicy. I just am. I just feel like there's something else coming and I don't want to be pointless. It took me 4 or 5 weeks to go from all in, and I went all in on, one of those NSFW agents, right? All in, don't regret it. Sold those actually when it was time and made some money. But it took me, 4 or 5, 6 weeks to get back up to where I was at before I spent them all. I don't want to leave myself pointless again. So, probably not all in on Sage, maybe half of my points on Sage, a good chunk. And then again, like everyone's saying, we got to let this marinate, and we'll see what this new virtual Genesis ecosystem looks like, feels like, and how to play it. Let me give a shout out because I'm going to wrap this up in a minute here, guys. But a shout out to everybody who came up to chat. Oh, by the way, if anybody has any final thoughts, just hit me with them. Cats first and foremost, if you got anything.
No, I'm good. I still can't find the points on Well Intel either, so hopefully we get an update on that.
Yeah, I'll DM them because I think that maybe oversight. But yeah, appreciate you, dude. Picasso, thank you. IK, thank you. CryptoSage, thank you. Adam, thank you. Cheyenne, thank you. And the Sage guys who came, fucking awesome, and Whitney, and just Goon, awesome people. We have the best guys. I tweeted this. I get kind of sentimental. I do. And I put out a tweet, like nothing crazy, but just saying this reminds me of another special time I had here in crypto. And it was early 2021. It was Hick at Nunk. It was Tezos collecting art, but a really fucking special thing that was happening there with artists connecting with the collectors and just realizing you were in a special time, special moment. It was my favorite moment, but now all of a sudden virtuals has become that. And it has been that like really all year and probably last year if some of you guys were there early. Man, something special. The builders here with the community that's supporting the build. It's fucking magic. And I can't wait to get into season 3 with you guys. It is going to be special. I hope we make lots of money. I hope the builders build us the coolest shit. No matter what, it's going to be pretty sweet. We do it together though. All right, guys, we'll wrap there. I do this show, if you haven't listened before, by the way, this is Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I host it over on the Swarm account on X, and it's a video stream too, right? So we go over the market, we go over the day's news, we have interviews, dude, sometimes every day of the week. Our next guest coming up, I've got this locked in. I have not announced it yet, but we do have virtuals coming on next week, so just stay tuned for that. Dawn had an ACP
bro,
coming
that would
on.
be epic,
Oh,
man. Thank you so
awesome.
much for that.
Yeah.
Man, that's the hype of the week right there.
There you
Blessing.
go. There you go. There's your alpha. Might have something. Actually, I do have something spicier later for this week. I will not reveal that yet, but just stay tuned. Anyway, the Swarm_AI. Go follow there. Check out our AI agent, the Swarm. He's fucking rad. And then also CryptoSlam over on YouTube. Guys, thank you for joining. This is a fun one. We'll see you later. Goodbye.